So Trump testified for about 3 minutes, as we know. The judge wouldn't let him get a word in. What do you make of this whole thing?
Well, there was a lot of excitement, but it was a letdown just to see the former president. I wasn't there, but of course I know what happened. It was a letdown just to see him on the stand for 3 minutes. It's an extraordinary abuse of judicial power to limit the testimony of the defendant when so much is at stake, when he wants to get up there and tell the jury his version of events. However, this is an odd situation that we're in. Remember, he has already been found guilty of a sexual assault against this woman and not guilty of a rape. It has already been determined that he did defame her. So the only issue before the jury is how was she harmed and how much should he pay her? Donald Trump, of course, got on the stand and said, I don't know this lady. I don't belong in the courtroom. I never met her. And you need to know that I don't know her. That's very fair for him to be able to say that. But he ought, in my opinion, he ought to have been able to elaborate on why he's in the courtroom, why this is a scam, and why they shouldn't award her any damages against him. The judge prevented him from doing that.
Judge,
good side of that is this is a built-in appealable issue. If or when the jury puts a verdict against him, some astronomical number, like a previous jury did on the sexual assault case, you have a built-in issue on appeal. And that issue is to the appellate court judges. The trial judge wouldn't let my client speak to the jury. That's a fundamental denial of due process.
Judge, just quickly, because I have another question, but what are and you were a judge for a long time, you're still a judge. What are the requirements to be a courtroom artist?
That somebody hires you. In the state system where I sat.
Have you seen these pictures from yesterday?
These pictures.
Yes, they are weird.
The same guy that does the Marvel comic books also is covering and chronicling Donald Trump's trial. There's one picture that makes him look like a superhero. I'm like, what are we doing here? Do they know we have cameras? We have cameras. That technology is available now, widely.
Well, it's not available in the federal courts. The Supreme Court does not permit it, even though many trial judges, I among them, are very much in favor of cameras in the courtroom. They do not distort what happens. They do not cause people to put on shows. They actually illuminate what happens. They give the public eyes on the least understood branch of the government.
Right.
As for these courtroom artists, they only work in federal court because those are the only courts where cameras are not permitted. And they're God, that is not flattering at all.
Isn't that just? I just don't get it. Like, I get that the Supreme Court doesn't want, because this is the way it was done before we had camera technology, which now dates to the 1850s. But I think maybe we can start undoing this guy with his charcoal pens in the court. What am I looking at here? We couldn't just get.
That is just an awful.
I could have my 7-year-old.
I don't know who the artist is. It may be somebody we know. I don't know, but that is a terrible depiction of him.
I mean, if Trump's got shoulders like that, he's been working out over the last several years.
Wow.
I mean, my goodness. All right, back to the case itself. I want to play you a clip. This is E. Jean Carroll with Anderson Cooper in 2019 talking about this alleged rape. She doesn't remember when it happened, doesn't remember the day, doesn't remember the month, doesn't remember the year. But this was all inadmissible in court because of this judge. Take a listen.
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt. It just
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Judge? Inadmissible, so it doesn't matter in the courtroom, but that's who E. Jean Carroll is. What a weirdo.
The reason this is inadmissible is because the issue of, was this a rape? Was this a sexual assault? Did she make it up? Was it nothing? Was already decided by another jury in another trial. I honestly don't know if the other jury saw that tape. They should have seen it, because that really shows that this lady's got a number of screws loose, which is basically Trump's argument. She made the whole thing up. She's got sexual fantasies in her brain. Remember what she did for a living. She was a gossip columnist advising strangers on sex. Now, all of that came out in the prior trial, and the jury still believed her and disbelieved Trump. But I honestly don't know if this tape was shown. The tape is repellent.